is being monetized. I bet you it's not. Bet you it's not. Oh, it is. Okay, good. And we're on. Dun, 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 dun. All right, give me an audio check, everybody. Let me know if I'm 5x5. I think I am. I think I am. So here's the bench in the basement. And there was much rejoicing. Yay. So this is my last lift on, I think I did this Saturday. So I'm going to, that was 315 real weight, really good stuff, really good. So we're going to take some weight off of it. And probably start at 135. And I'm thinking about whether I need to change the position of my, where I have it racked. So make sure to pop in and chat, say hello to each other, engagement, like, share, all that good stuff. So we're going to drop it down to 135. None of these plates are fake. They're all real. Sucks to be you. I still get those comments. Children on the internet without adult supervision, it seems to be. I'm down here in the basement. Got my bench. I'm going to start at 135. I told the boy to get up. His schedule is all messed up. He's staying up very late at night, early morning. I was asleep all day, but next week he goes back to work. So I'm trying to get it where it's going to be a little bit easier for him. So hopefully the audio is going to be good. I'm not sure if it's going to work on both things, but if not, well, it wouldn't be the first video I had issues with. Quick question for everybody, and I'll fire up the next one. So a question to my subscribers is, I've been letting this grow out, all right, more than usual. I've been kind of keeping it trimmed here a little bit, but I'm literally letting this go out where I've actually got, over an inch, probably an inch and a half of beard. Now, those have been with me a long time. I usually keep this pretty close to the face. But I'm kind of enjoying this, just to kind of change things up and have a little fun with it. So let me know what you think. So let it grow, or should it go? Maybe I can do a poll. Let me do a poll. Got to put my readers on. Well, my vision has went to garbage. Start a poll. How to do my beard. Let it grow. Keep it trimmed. And we'll start the poll. Not that it's going to have any real decision making on how I do it. It's just something fun to do. So I've got the bench. This bench is rated like well over 600 pounds, I think 600-700 pounds. So I feel more comfortable with it. Now I did bring this up a little higher. I have a second set down here, which I think I'm going to get rid of. And then I'm going to have to rethink if this is where I want it at. Which is actually a pretty good one. So let's warm up. So good set. Yippee-ki-yay. So yeah, sinus is going amok. But let's bring that down a little bit. And let's close that. Grew a Fu Manchu. I was thinking about that too. But I'm probably not going to. So it's been a while. And I figured I'd do a live stream down in the bed. I tell you, I've been sleeping longer. And I'm trying to correlate what that means. So usually, I get up about 5:30, feed the cat, make coffee, and usually by 6:30, I'm doing some deliveries for my second job. And that was my intention yesterday and today. But the thing of it is the cat has a different clock and is causing me to get up at 3:34 in the morning, which I'm not liking. And the weather gets warmer, Binks will probably going to find her outside at night because I need my sleep. And what's happening is I'm getting into that REM sleep at 3, 4 in the morning. And you usually need about 2 to 4 hours of that REM sleep. That is where the real rest comes from. That's where your body repairs itself and really gets into your refreshing. And when it gets interrupted, for some of us, it takes a while to get back into that deep sleep. Now, my wife can go into that deep sleep within minutes. I mean, I'm watching it out, at the phone. All right, I'm not that person. It takes a lot for me to get to sleep. So instead of getting up at 5:30, I've been getting up at 7:30. And I mean, I'm out. When I came back upstairs at like 10 after 4 after feeding the cat, and then having the cat follow me into the bedroom and pop on my chest and fall asleep on my chest, I didn't get up until 7:30. I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear the wife get up. I didn't hear her leaving the house. I have sensors that make all sorts of noise. That usually always wakes me up. It didn't wake me up. I was out. Hey, Shane, how we doing? Hello, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. God bless. And so I'm thinking, what is causing me to need to oversleep? Now, I needed to rest, but, usually I'm up 2 hours earlier. And I'm thinking it's because of that interruption. I had the door shut and the cat actually jumped into the attic. And we have a spot where it can look down at us and meow and become, it wakes me up. So then I had to go feed her. I'm thinking if I didn't have the 4 o'clock wake up at 5, I'd be refreshed. That's kind of my thought process. Because it is kind of interrupting things I want to do. That's why I got the basement back up and rolling. Because my appetite's not kicking in as early. Then I remembered, hey, I used to do shakes to get my nutrition. So I did a shake today. Sometimes you have to remember, what you did to get yourself in a good energy and a good mindset. And like I said, I haven't worked a second job all week, but to be honest with you, it's for most of the week it was below zero, and I'm not going to go out and do outdoor deliveries when it's that cold. That's just inviting, bad things to happen to you, to happen to your vehicle, things like that. But we're back into the balmy 20s and soon to be 30s. It'll be almost like a heat wave. So yeah, we're going to start probably get moving, get things going on, stuff like that. So I am running the live stream on my computer this time, so it's horizontal. So I'm probably not going to crack as many hits. For whatever reason, if you go off the phone off vertical, YouTube sends it out there to more people. but that's okay because generally it's the same people I want to talk to anyway. It's my core group that I like communicating with. Every now and then, I get somebody new, and then we'll get some irritable ones, but they soon go bye because my monitors know how I feel about trolls. Different opinions, fine, but just being a silly troll, no, I've got no use for you. You're not going to be on this channel long. But I did notice if I do a vertical off my phone, it is different. The number of views I get if I do the computer. So I had been doing the phone for a while, but now I'm recording the phone when I'm doing the list. And I'll post that later on. It'll be like the condensed version of this. But you can still watch this and enjoy it. And hopefully it's sending it out there and letting everybody know that I'm live. I did give it, a big enough start so it would send, hey, I'm going to be live in 30 minutes. A lot of times if I get ready to do a live and I start like 10 minutes after I set everything up, you don't get a notification because usually the first notification you get is 30 minutes out. So if I don't give it the opportunity, well, then you don't get the notification. And people are busy, but the weather should kind of maybe keep people in a little bit more. I've noticed that a lot of the creators I watch, a lot are not they're not putting out as many videos. Some have reasons. And then I'm missing some videos from some creators that I shouldn't be missing, but I just get busy at that time. I know Michael does some live streams, but I'm at work, and a lot of times I'll put a lot of loads in. And if I don't think to look at it, I'll miss it. But sometimes I pop in there. Runner Boy, he's 6 hours ahead of us, and I'm just not up yet. I'm sorry. Just ain't awake yet. So I'm missing out on a lot of ones I usually view. I still try to pop in and see Michael's, Kevin's, Last Chance Knives, Wild World of Trains, Arc Wildland Survival, Prepper Nation. I caught him earlier today. And, but I'm just not spending as much time on the YouTube as I used to. Now, in the real cold weather, we did binge watch Justified. I don't watch a lot of TV, but the weather is too bad for me to really do anything outside. Then I'll do it. So I think we got like 2 more episodes. We're getting ready for the grand finale on season 6. It's a fun show. I enjoy it. So let's do my next set. Keep the same weight. There are going to be times I'm going to have to go upstairs and try to re-resurrect my boy. Because when I do go to heavy weights, I want him spotting me. So the second set is always easier. It's light weights, baby. But it's still exercise. It still has its benefit. Now, opinions vary. And people say, oh, you got to lift heavy weights. You got to do heavy lots of sets. You got to do. Well, it depends on what you want to accomplish. You want to get strong, heavy weights, low reps. You want to get big, medium weight, a ton of reps, and a ton of food, and the right foods, and specific exercises, a lot of work. If you want to get toned, high reps and good food. You can't outwork a bad diet. You got to have a good diet. So a good diet consists of lots of protein, lots of clean carbs, lots of vitamins and minerals. If you want to have long-term results. I thought I brought my water down here. Let me go wander. See where I may have set it. Where did my water go? It may not have made the trip down here. So I'll be right back. Let me go get my water. almost going to be a little slack. That's my water. They're really good containers to hold water. Glass is better than plastic. So I use it. Hydrate. Hydrate. Hydration is very, very, very important when you're lifting. Having the right minerals and salts is very, very important. So I'm going to get some medical work done. Before I head to work, I'm going to call the VA and see if I can get them to pay for a screening. What I want them to do is I want them to ultrasound my two catheters there, to make sure they're not plugged up. Kind of a hereditary thing. My dad's did, my oldest sister's did, my brother just had one of his cleaned out. Usually I just have them listen to it with a stethoscope, and they say if it's getting bad, they'll hear some bubbling. But my brother had that done, and they didn't hear anything wrong. But he decided to get the ultrasound, and one was 99% black. So it tells me listening to the stethoscope is not a valid way of testing it. So I'm going to get one scheduled. I'm trying to see if I can get the VA to cover the bill. Otherwise, I'm sure it's going to be, probably $1,000, maybe $2,000 out of pocket to have it done to start with. Then if they do find that it's black, well, the next thing is called an angiogram, where they inject you with a dye, and then they send you to like an MRI or whatever, and it gives them a much clearer picture to let you notice how bad the blockage is. So my brother's 7 years older than me. My sister's 14 years older than me, but she's had it done twice. So it's something like, is it going to happen? Yeah, it's going to happen at some time. So even if it's going to cost me $2,000 to find out that it's not an issue, it's still money. In my opinion, it's still money well spent. It's still saying, okay, well, now at least I have peace of mind. I'm so glad that my brother had it checked and got it taken care of before it, because what it'll do if it closes off, it's a stroke and it can kill you. And if it don't kill you, it's gonna. But my dad had pretty much he lost use of his left arm and about 40% use of his left leg. So it made it very hard for him to move around. And I think he was 67 when it happened. Yeah, I'm 63. My brother was 70 when he just got his cleared out. So, it's time. So you want to make sure, hey, how we doing? I'm guessing Ukraine, maybe? Can't see it. Yellow and blue. Well, welcome to the live stream. I'm working out in my basement. Now, I do go to gyms and work out, but sometimes working out in the basement is just easier, and it prevents me from not getting a workout in because, hey, it's right here. It's right there in front of me, so I have to do it. So I'm going to do a third set just at 180, at 135. Not quite sure what that is in kilos. It's not much. This is my warm-ups. And from here, I'll bump it up. And then I'll go back up and try to raise the dead, my son again. All right. Nice warm-up set there. Let's add real weights. There are no fake weights here. I don't know why anybody would have fake weights in the basement or in a commercial gym or anywhere where I work out. If they had fake weights, I probably wouldn't work out there. Now, unfortunately, some people have done it, but they're usually doing just ridiculous things, 70-year-old, and I'm roughing 700 pounds 15 times. No, you're not. All right, so we know you got fake weights here. But maybe I'm a beef 17-year-old. It's already grown. And I'm doing 405 pounds. Likely. Very likely. You know, so see if they go after it. I'm not going to Fu Manchu. Although it's kind of looking like that. Problem is when this gets long, it just starts curling. And when it gets warmer, then I tend to trim it because it's cooler. Right now, it's a nice face warmer, especially as cold as it's been, and I'm kind of liking it. I kind of like being able to, you know, pull on hair. You can't do it up here anymore. So I guess it's my little, I can have hair now. I got 2 1/4 on each side. That'll be my next sets. And I'm going to keep the live stream going. Mother Nature is calling. We're going to leave it at that. So there's going to be some delay. I do apologize, but there is something I have to do. I don't need to look sexy. I'm married. Wife might disagree. Okay, I'm back. All right, appreciate your patience. Yes, it was one of those interruptions that had to happen. There was no way around it. Finally, I've woken up my son. You know, he took 3 times banging on the door. Someone's knocking on the door. So I try to have fun when I'm lifting. I am serious about it, but I don't have to be serious while I'm doing it. I can definitely have fun and make lifting fun. Nutrition is important. Also, we talked about rest. So I get to bed about 11 o'clock. I probably get to sleep somewhere between 11:30 and midnight. This takes me time to shut down. But as you start to get that routine, it gets a little bit easier. I know there's some people that have a very hard time sleeping. Michael's one of them. And I know it's been a struggle for me. When I remember to take my magnesium before I go to bed, I have a much better sleep. And I didn't do that last night. But when I keep the cat from jumping on me every hour and wanting attention, it gets right there on my chest, it starts rubbing into here. I'm like, okay, it's cute and all that good stuff, but I need to get my sleep. Otherwise, it makes me angry. You become angry, John. When the water is extremely cold, obviously the cat's got to stay inside, but I find a way to keep it from getting in the attic. Problem is, cats jump like crazy. It brought us a present the other night. So when it got below zero, it drove some mice into the house, more than the cat could handle. So I set up mouse traps. And I think it was Tuesday night. Yeah, Tuesday night. I had probably, within about an hour, had gotten 4 mice. So I reset the traps, went to bed. Cat's sleeping with us. All of a sudden it takes off, goes downstairs. And about 15 minutes later, I hear it come back upstairs, but there's this rattling sound. And it jumped in her bed with a mouse in the mouse trap. Look, look at my offering. Oh, no, we don't want that. So, of course, I had to take care of that. Once again, it makes sleep difficult. So I've been sleeping until about 7:30 last couple times. And if you find yourself sleeping that long and you have to sleep that long, then I know, hold over. Your body's saying it needed it. So that's not a bottom. I hear my son's finally coming down. It's alive. Hey, you gonna work out or is it too early? I'm on live stream. So come on, Ben. Just
you want me to spot? You need to spot?
Sure, might as well spot. What the hell? I had to raise the rack. So here we got 225. The rack's a little higher now, so I don't have the extra clearance before. This bench is about an inch taller than the other one. And it was starting me about here, which is kind of low. So that's why I was having a hard time with that 315 the other day. All righty. Let's do a quarter. And we'll do this for probably 2, maybe 3 sets. Then we'll jump to 315. I'm going to do things a little bit different. But I have time. And time's on my side. Yes, it is. So, talking about sleep. So, nutrition's the next thing. And if you're not getting enough nutrition, you're not going to have the energy to have a good workout. The whole idea is, now, do you want to work out or no? Huh?
Not much.
Okay, we can do it later. Only seeing your arms. I got it separately. It doesn't get your belly or anything like that. Did that for a reason. You guys don't have to see my belly or other things, which I got some comments about that too on Instagram. A little more ignorant of a place. Generally the heavy lifts I will do, shorts, put them both on Facebook. Got breakfast for everybody. Oh man,
For us too.
I don't know. I don't know how he's going to do it from Arizona, but I guess there's DoorDash. Suppose you could order from Walmart and they deliver it out here. I know I deliver out this far. But nutrition is the next thing. If you're not getting the proper nutrition at the right times and enough of it, you're not going to get any gains. Your workouts are going to be lackluster. You're not going to have the energy for it. Anybody's just popping in? This is water. It's just I like to keep water in glass. Adverse to plastic. It's better for you. Well, Binks was telling you, oh yeah, look, breakfast for everyone. Yeah, that's what Binks was doing. Here, an offering. And then if you say, no, you take it, well, she eats it right there on the spot, and she wasn't going to eat it on the bed. I said, you're confused, kid, about what's going on here. And she gets mouthy. Get over it. That's the life with having a cat. I'm taking big breaks, but really at 2 1/4 I don't need here, but 3:15 I will. But yeah, you can sit there. I mean, there's a nice little chair. Bring a drink
I
down.
like the new bench.
I do. Solid. It doesn't wiggle like this one.
It's good because even when I was doing my heavier lifts, you had to like balance yourself before you
Right.
balance the weight.
We're talking about the new bench because the other one, even though it had a nice base, it just, because it was adjustable, you got some of this action. And when you're doing 200, 300, 400 pounds, it actually makes you a little nervous. Where this one is solid. No, let me see that thing again. Or no, I got it here. I'll look at it later. I just want to make sure that I get it where it's supposed to be. But yeah, this is the way the bench is supposed to be. Michael was thinking I had the bench backwards. I don't. And the only thing that's possible is that maybe where I had the wheels were, it should be on the other side. But when you look at any of the benches that are movable, this is where the wheels are at, on the forward side, not on the back side. So, but yeah, Banks was bringing us breakfast. So nutrition. So, I start with I had 2 pieces of toast with grape jelly early this morning when I first got up. And then about 15 minutes before I started the live stream, I had a quick shake. It was milk. It was a banana, peanut butter, chocolate syrup, and 1 egg. So basically about 25, 30 grams of protein, maybe about 300-400 calories. And it basically was to give me energy for this workout. And then when I get done with the workout, the next thing will be is to probably cook up some eggs, relax before I go out to work and that, I'm always tempted to go do a delivery in that, but what's been happening is I've been trying to push too much in the same day and getting myself wore out. I did talk to one Army buddy about, TRT, because he takes it because of a medical condition. But he's one of the I get most of my research from. People ask me what I think about it. Well, I don't take it, so I'm the wrong person to ask. But I remember the first time he took it, it was a huge change, positive change for him. And then it started diminishing. So I asked him, does he still do it? And he says, yeah, the doctor puts him on it for, about 3 months. And he'll be off for 3 months, and then they'll put him back on. And he says he does feel a different in his level of energy and stuff like that. I understand him and I are both older. We're in our 60s. And I'm not judging anybody, but I'm thinking if you're going on this in your 30s, I would have never done it in my 30s. I didn't need any help in my 30s. I was ripped. I had all the testosterone I needed. Do I have the same energy Did I have when I was in my 30s? Oh, God, no. Not even close. But once again, from everybody I've talked to, not personal experience, but talking about their experiences, is, they start at a certain level and then they got to keep increasing to stay. And then the ones that got off of it, they dropped like a rock, even lower than what they were before. So there are other things that help your testosterone level. Sleep is one of them. If you're only getting 3-4 hours of sleep at night, your testosterone level is going to drop. Your diet, if you're eating garbage processed foods, your testosterone level is going to drop. Oatmeal drops your testosterone level. I was surprised to see that. It used to be, I thought, a good food in the morning. It's not good for your T levels, so I don't eat it anymore.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. This information's right there. Just Google it. There's tons of information there. We started talking about the importance of college. I'm not diminishing college, but 40 years ago, you really didn't have this information at your fingertips. You had to go to a library, and you really had to sit there and do a lot of your own research. And a lot of times you needed somebody to explain what that research meant. But now it's all right here. I can research almost anything. I can watch YouTube tutorials on that research, and they can explain the physical attributes of it or the real life values of it. So for me to go back to college for a piece of paper, it's not ridiculous. And one of the arguments people go is, well, what degree you have? You don't need a degree to learn things. You just need to research. And especially when I'm watching people with master's and doctorate degrees saying things online that are completely false. And it takes 30 seconds to show them they're false. Tells me it doesn't mean what I thought it used to mean. Because when I was in my 20s, yes, college was definitely a drive, and I went to college. All right. It didn't make me smarter, my friends. What made me smarter than my friends is because I studied things and they stopped. That's the only difference. And I learned over time. I got to shut this off. Otherwise, it's going to. What I learned over time is if you don't research something before you repeat it, you leave yourself open for looking foolish. It only had to happen once. My cousin called me out on it, and then I tried to make sure that didn't happen again. So just have that food for thought. Be careful what you say, be careful what you pass on, even if it's something that you say, hey, I kind of agree with that. You're seeing a lot of misinformation coming out there right now, especially after the election, regardless of who you voted for. That's not what I'm asking you. But you're seeing a lot of misinformation coming out there, and it is misinformation. If it's on TikTok, it's probably bullshit. And I'll research it, even if it's something I want to be true. Yeah, I'll research it and find out it's not.
The Heart Association tells you that corn oil and vegetable oil and seed oils are fantastic for your heart.
Do they still say that?
Yeah, they still advertise that.
Yeah, we know that's not true.
Well, where are they getting that money from?
Well, that's true too. Sometimes people are paid to say things. Good point. But when you see things being taken out of content, when they're trying to push a narrative, they're pushing a narrative. And stop falling for it. It's the old fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. A lot of people are being fooled. They're repeating stuff that's not true. But the greatest misinformation starts with the truth. Let me show you a little clip. You need to watch that, but this is what they're showing you. Understand, they're showing you what they want to show you. So stop being useful idiots on both sides. Just get in the gym and lift. I find as a percentage, people who go to the gym regularly because they feel better about themselves have a more positive outlook on life. When you don't feel good about yourself, it's very easy to fall for the negative stuff. It starts with you. My heart, well, I ain't going to do it, but that's what he did. My heart's out to you. It's not a Hitler salute. Not everything's Hitler. He died in 1945. It's over. Move on. Nothing to see here, folks. Joke's over, man.
And then they had Kamala doing
Everybody's
the
done
same
it.
thing.
Everybody's done that, and none of it was Hitler. None of it was. All right. He didn't invent that movement. Okay. There was cavemen doing that movement. The mastodons over there. Or whatever they were saying. All right. So, come on, people. Start doing things for yourself. As I say, start being a little selfish in a good way. Do good things for yourself. Be happy. Don't worry. One of my favorite songs. It's like, how can you not be happy listening to that song? All right, 2 1/4 again. We'll see how easy it goes. In terms of I need to go up or down. If I want to go up yet. There we go. So we'll move on up. Moving on up to 275. I know it's a 315, but what's the hurry, man? Here, I'll grab the black one so we all have the same color and size plates. It's another black weight. Why is your weights different colors? Because the home gym.
It's not about the color or weight, but
it's mass.
Their mass.
He had an engineer stop by me at work, and they were concerned about safety and weights falling. They're saying 100 pounds that falls on your foot hits with 100 pounds of force, but if it's 5 feet in the air, he goes, it hits with 500 pounds of force. I said, well, it hits more than 500, I'm telling you. There's a formula for it, but I guarantee it's more than 500.
9.81 meters per second squared.
Right. And, an energy times mass times speed of light squared. But I said, I get your point. It's 100 pounds falling from 5 feet is going to do more damage falling from 1 foot. Completely agree. And we were talking about our hoisting. Yes, is there any reason to hoist a load above my head? I'm like, no. I want it right here. Right here in my control zone. And away from me with my feet underneath it. I don't need to see the bottom of the toe. But we had a good conversation. I like the guy. And he's doing a job in his, safety and that. And I think safety is a good thing. We're trying to eliminate accidents. Me actually suffering from a major one. Definitely a little bit more believer on that. So now at 275 or above, I'll definitely try to have my boy with me to kind of make sure that he doesn't fall on me. So, hope everybody's enjoying the live stream, and thanks for popping in and hitting the thumbs up and all that YouTube stuff. So far, 67% of the people are saying keep it trimmed. It's kind of cool. I'm thinking I got 3 votes. I usually do, but usually in the winter, I'll let it grow out a bit, and then I kind of just look a little different for a while. Then I agreed when it's nice and tight, I probably look better. But it's cold and gray out there, and I don't feel the need for it at this point. So I'm kind of enjoying having hair on my face again, even though it's not on my head. It's kind of like I can pull on it. I can run a comb through it. Trying to relive my youth. So, rest, nutrition, and then exercise. And exercise, if you're exercising, you're exercising. It doesn't have to be a certain way. It doesn't have to be a certain, if you're not doing this, you're doing it wrong. No, stop it. If you're exercising, if you're contracting muscles, that's what exercise is. Everybody is built different. Some have shoulders broader than others. Some have long arms longer than others, shorter than others, torsos, legs. stances. Some have favorite exercises. Some people are obviously very good at bench, you know, or not so good on squat. But as long as you're lifting, as long as you're moving weight, getting that blood circulating. I always say 20 minutes a day, at least 3 days a week, will improve your health. And hopefully that'll encourage you to sit there and correct your diet. You know, I've chat with some people say, well, I can't lose weight. And I'm like, drink a soda? Yeah, well, there's your best start. Get rid of the soda. And, get rid of the soda, that's 5 pounds of sugar a month you're getting rid of. A lot of calories. Just by removing soda. Drink water, drink sugar-free Kool-Aid, but, water is better. Go from regular milk to Fairlife milk, which has half the sugar. It's got more protein. It's better for you. These small changes over time will give you great results. Go for walks. If you're feeling sluggish, like I do from time to time, and the weather is decent, about 40 degrees, go for a walk. A quick mile or two walk will get that blood moving, and it will make you feel better. You'll definitely be going, yeah, I'm glad I do that. Now I'm more alert. I'm going to get more done. I'm going to be more productive. When I'm more productive, I feel better about myself. When I feel better about myself, it's easier to be productive, whether it's in work or getting things done around the house or exercise or whatever. Remember, an object at rest will stay at rest. An object in motion will stay in motion. There are times of rest, and during those times, it's time to do it, and you try to get it in regular intervals if you can. Now, some people that can't. Okay, so good question. We just were talking about TRT, but I don't mind repeating it because, I got breaks in between my lifts. So I know people who are on it. I am not currently, or have I been on it ever. So I can't give you a real opinion about it because I don't have personal experience. I can only go off of what I get from people I talk to. And that information varies, but my concern, immediate concern is, yes, I get on it, I'm Superman, faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a freight train, blah, blah, blah. But over time, it starts to diminish. That artificial boost starts to diminish, so you're left a choice to increase the dosage or to get off it. And if you get off it, what I've heard is you drop down to even lower than you were at initially. So my feeling at this time is I'm just not ready to get on it now. Like I said, is my energy level what it was when I was in my 30? Oh, hell no. Absolutely not. Bench twice a week. So not every week, but generally twice a week I bench. I'm going to be competing in the Arnold's here March 1st. So I really need to kind of put in the extra effort. And that's one thing I've done feeling, getting into the workouts has been more of a mental conversation than it usually is. I was talking to my Army friend, and he's going to get back on it. He gets back on it about twice a year, but he has a medical condition for it. And he was asking me about that this morning when I was talking to him. I said, I don't know. I said, I'll probably get some blood work done and see where my level is at. I've been kind of staying away from it for a while, but I'm not going to do anything until after the Arnold's. I want to be able to go in there 100% truthfully and say I'm natural. Now, when and if I do decide to go on TRT, I will let my subscribers know that I'm on it and give my input on it. I'll be pretty much open on it. But as of right now, no, I'm not on any TRT, HRT, WXYZ, and all those other names that sometimes I have to look up. When they say, oh, you're on this, and I got to Google it. Oh, okay, no, I'm not on you know, and then I'll look at what they're supposed to do. And they're like, yeah, obviously I'm not on it because I don't show the physical features of it. Got hurt right before and got set back again. Yep, and it does. But the nice thing is, once you heal, and it depends on the injury, but once you heal, it doesn't take you as long to get back to that spot. It's called muscle memory. After I have an injury and, and I start back up and I'm only doing 315, and then all of a sudden, 4 weeks later, I'm at, 365, and then I'm at 385, 405. And they're like, oh, that's not natural. Well, no, if I'd never been at those weights before, it's not. But I've benched 480, so yes, it's just putting the time in, getting the nutrition in, putting the exercises in, and, keeping yourself injury free to get you there. So yeah, injuries suck. They do. But I understand when you heal and then you go back at those weights, you'll find yourself increasing more quickly. So let me call my spotter here so I can do the 275. Hey, John? John? I can use you. I got my boy coming down here. Got 275 down. This is the bench and the rack are not attached. And I almost kind of thinking about taking away maybe attaching them, but I did upgrade my bench. It is a much better bench. Hey, Christopher, how we doing? Now I'm gonna do a couple reps on 275 and restart that video, which I didn't mean to do, but that's okay. And then we'll go from here. So 275. All righty. And then we'll give it a few minutes and then do it again, and then we'll jump to 315. Hit the wrong button. So we TRT talk again.
What's TRT again?
It's either a gel or an injection that will raise your testosterone levels. A lot of bodybuilders are on it. A lot of bodybuilders are on it.
Did you know, before you say anything, even among healthy men, the average testosterone rate is down like 40 to 50% from like 1950.
Because of our food and because of our activities.
No, even among healthy, hardworking men. So it's not just
still not the same activities. People work hard at the factory. When they go home, they do nothing. I lift. And I lift when I'm at the factory. So, yes, the average is down. Remember, when you're in the gym, that's 1%.
I know. And I'm just letting you know that even for the guys even for you, your testosterone is probably not at what it should have been because of the.
I would disagree with me. I think
it's probably high, but it should be.
I think it's higher than what I would be at most 63, no matter when. Even back in the cave days, because they didn't live that long. So, but I say as a average, yes, I would agree with that. Your food has. I would definitely agree with that. I mean, they're saying that the average college male, boys, is weaker than the 1970 housewife.
I mean,
now we're talking average.
You're talking college.
You were in the service. Yeah. How many people did you know that were anywhere close to your strength?
Dude, I was a nuke.
Right. How many people?
Were nerds.
That's right. I'm a nerd.
If I was like infantry or something, probably you
would have been in the military. You would have been in the army then.
Yeah.
And yes, but even in the military.
As a nuke, there was a couple guys who were stronger than me, but the vast majority were not.
We're not, right. Now, that's military, which does have a exercise regimen that they kind of want you to follow. Now, go to college where there is none, unless you're in a sport. I mean, I went to college, and I know that the nerds I hung around with were nothing close to what I was. And it's because we play games, we're in front of a computer a lot, and we're spending a lot of time with this in front of our face. And what we're not doing is outside walking, exercising, researching things to make yourself mentally smarter, not politically angry. And we're wasting too much time on that as a population, worldwide population, some worse than others, and we're losing a lot of skills, a lot of life skills. I mean, just think about how many people that exercise on a regular basis. That don't belong to your gym. People at work, people at church, people at school. 50 years ago, we not have had the fancy clubs, but people were either exercising or doing some sort of sport. I mean, even when I was in my 20s, we'd all get together for a Sunday morning football game, not watching it, playing it. We played tackle, out in Messenger Woods. And then we go watch football. We'd organize, soccer games. We'd organize softball games. We'd organize roundup tag.
Clone 21 people.
Well, you had a little problem, but you did sports, but you weren't doing sports.
Yeah, it's fun.
Right. What sports was Tanner doing?
I haven't seen him in.
Didn't do any sports. He's built the same way.
The same school.
We did go to the same school. We went to the same grade school.
Yeah, but I don't remember anything from grade school.
Okay. I remember grade school, we had two people that were overweight, one girl and one guy out of 32 kids that were overweight.
Years ago, that was a sign of wealth and prestige. Yeah,
wealth and prestige. Now it's a sign of laziness and eating all the wrong shit. But, it's like I said, you can't outwork out a poor diet. Try to, start reading the labels on some of the stuff that you eat.
They already banned.
Not that you can't get away from it all, but I've made some changes.
They already banned Red 3.
Yeah, now they got Red 40.
They're gonna ban that next.
No. A lot of times once they ban something, I know one guy in the gym, he says, I take everything I can that's legal, as long as it's legal, and I wait for the next thing to come out. A lot of times they'd come out with something that was basically probably not good for you in that, and he would buy it up, and 3 months later he'd get banned, and he'd wait till he finished it up. He said, you're always going to bring something else out. They're going to change the name. They're going to call the chemical a little bit different, but, the song remains the same. So he said, I'm not on steroids, but I'm on everything legal that you can be on. And I didn't inquire anything more. And I don't think he meant vitamins and minerals, but, somebody who's on gear, you can tell, they got puffy skin, they got acne, they got a six pack or heading towards one. They're jumping up weight much faster than you are, and it's not muscle memory. When you see somebody who's still carrying a couple extra pounds here, and they don't have acne, they don't have puffy skin. Somebody goes, well, you're losing hair on your head. Yeah, I'm 63 years old, and my uncles and my dad and his brothers are all bald. So, it's called hereditary. Right? Some people say some of the stupidest stuff. It's like, I know something you don't. All right, 275 again. And then we'll throw a 315. Real weights, real plates, just are different colors. They sold a 315-pound set, which consisted of 245s, 235s, 225s, 10s, 5s, and 2 1/4s, plus the bar. Now, because this rack is up higher, you don't have to bring it up as high.
Yep.
Perfect. only thing I got to worry about. All righty. Let's switch it up to 315. Now for something completely different. Ooh-wee.
Do you eat breakfast after this?
Oh, I don't have any meat to cook.
We got eggs.
We could do spam. Grab some spam from down here. Take upstairs. We'll fry spam and eggs. Spam and eggs. I don't know so much time I have. It's not one of those big, huge ones. All right, we're down to 56% keep it trim, so I gained a vote. I'm thinking March. I'll trim it. We'll see. It gets to the point where I start chewing on it too much. And then it'll cause me to say, okay, show's over, man. So I did bring my third power cord for my computer. The one advantage of buying the same brand computer is you get the same power source. Although I think a lot of them are starting to use the same ones now, but a lot of times they always, well, we're going to make ours a little different, just so they can be a pain. So, I do appreciate everybody that's popped in. Still waiting for Michael to show up. Doesn't seem to be working. Very interesting. Well, that's not where you do it. Dummy. Yeah, we'll wait till later. Chants are getting a little slow. Let's chat it up, folks. Gotta get that Augie rhythm. Thumbs up, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. If you do want to contribute to my trip to the Arnolds, you can use the PayPal link if you have PayPal, or you can use YouTube, but YouTube does take like 40% of the donation. I'd rather not give them that much money. They don't give me that much money. And I'm trying hard here to earn my, 15, 20 cents on this live stream. Yes, injuries stink there. Chris trying to catch up on the comments here. So, and if you're on TRT, that's fine. That's your decision. Yet. I just think it's, I see so many advertisements for people in their 30s to go on it. And I don't think it should be an issue in your 30s. I know I did it in my 30s. 33 years old, I was probably in the best shape. I was ripped. Maybe 7% body fat. I was working out 3 hours a day, 6 days a week, religiously. 3 on, 1 off, 3 on, 1 off, 3 on, 1 off. I was probably eating in excess of 6 to 7,000 calories a day. Nothing happened until after my workout. I got home at 3:30. I worked out till 6:30. And then I cooked dinner. And I would cook a huge dinner, thinking that all that extra food I was going to take with me, at work, because I would eat every 2 hours. And the problem is, before the night was over, I'd wiped all the food out, so I'd have to cook more dinner. And generally, I was on the grill twice a night. I would make 6 cups of rice. All right. I had this big jug of these yellow pills full of egg protein. And I'd take a handful before and after every workout. And I wish they still did it, because I tell you, that worked. So now I just eat eggs. But that was really seemed to do the trick. And of course, I had the endurance for a 3-hour workout. And it was a vigorous workout. And I would deadlift and bench and squat and back rows and curls. And I mean, I was doing such 10 to 15 each exercise. And I would do, 6 sets of each exercise. And I would do 4 different exercises per muscle group. And I had it all written down, and here's the weights I did. And here's where I want to be by next week. And depending on how the workout went, stay at these weights, add 2.5, whatever. I had 1.25 weights. So I could actually go up 2.5 pounds on something instead of 5. And it was a passion. I mean, everything. I went to work at 7. I ate at 7, 8 at 9, 8 at 11, 8 at 1. I came home and worked out. And then I ate 7, and I ate at 9, and had the food ready for the next day. I mean, I had a buddy who wanted to go fishing, and he showed up, and so I still have a half hour. When I come out of the garage, he's like, "Holy crap! Looks like you eat rocks." But and then at 6:30, we got in his truck and took his boat out to the wilderness area and went fishing. A lot of times it was on like Sunday morning. We'd go about 4:30 in the water. We'd be done and off the water by 8. And that's when everybody else was showing up complaining that they never catch anything. I was like, "Well, son, you're not getting out here at the right time." 8 o'clock in the summer, fish start heading deep, getting hot. They've already fed. They're full. They're going and taking siestas down on the bottom. But we were eating a lot of fish, a lot of bluegill, a lot of bass. Really good stuff. And if it was a nice sized bass, we threw it back in, so they get bigger. A lot of times they do slots where they're taking all the fish on the bigger side. And what happens is you make a pond that has all small to medium fish. Reelfoot Lake was doing that in Tennessee. And I was like, "Oh my God, you guys are doing this wrong." They were saying, "Well, if it was over 16 inches, you keep." I said, "Well, all you got to do is you're gonna have medium-sized fish." The idea is if it's over 16 inches, that one's the one you throw back. It's that 14 to 16 inch one is probably your best bang for the buck. We kept everything we caught, but those are kind of the things that you have to look for. So it's nice when I can sit there and just kind of take my time lifting. Doesn't have to be in a hurry and that. Start early enough. So I'm thinking 10:30 is the best time to do it. Benching in the basement. I can do other things. I do have the setup there where I could probably do, overhead, but they'll have to be seated. Otherwise, they'll be banging into the ceiling. And I can do dumbbells here with that one. So that one, it doesn't have to be as steady. So I can switch out the benches. So there's more exercise I can do here when I don't have the gumption, to go into the gym. But, sometimes the gym is better. It's just you get more motivated. You got a lot of people out there to help you out. And a lot of times there's different machines so you can do other exercises. But today, as I knew, I just didn't want to leave the house. It wasn't good. And for me to get to the gym and not have a spotter, that kind of, is demoralizing. And right now I got the son home for this week. Next week I'll have to go to the gym because he'll be back to his regular work schedule. But then, push comes to shove, I can always do a midnight lift, which I've done before. And sometimes I do that when I, for whatever reasons, wasn't able to get it done during the day. Then I can say, okay, let's get it done at night. So there's always a way to adjust what you're going to do. Where there's a will, there's a way. Let me get my son back down here. John? John? Yeah. You spot. Somebody's knocking at the door. Somebody's ringing the bell. Sooner or later, open the door. Let me in. Let me in. All righty. So 315. 315, let's be alive. All right, 315 pounds. Somebody had graduated me, congratulated me. Oh my God, that's huge, must be happy with your PR. I'm like, no, it's not a PR. But because I couldn't wake my spotter that day, that was as heavy as I went. There we go. Solid 3. Yippee-ki-yay. So now I'll start jumping up there because I want to blow my energy. We'll go up to 365. Wondering.
You keep kind of clipping that.
I know. I'm trying to think why. I think it's lined up. Now let's scoot it over a little bit. See what happens. Yeah, give it about 5 minutes. And come on back down. Or steer bullshit, whatever. So, hope you're enjoying our lovely episode of Benching in the Basement at the Farm. And the crowd goes wild. Remember to hit the thumbs up. It helps that Augie rhythm. I know that I am just using the vertical one, so I won't reach out as many followers, but it seems like I get the same people every time, so that's fine. A lot of times I use the phone and it's a vertical, and so I'll get like 600 views, but most of those views are just there for a couple seconds going, oh, okay, it's not interested or whatever. And it doesn't really increase my thumbs up in that, so sometimes you're trying to get your channel out there a little bit more than that, but here, I might only get 40 to 60 views, but I'll have a longer view time and pretty much the same amount of thumbs up. So, and then I can post that video separately, and I can do it entirety, and it'll get its views, and I can do the shorts, and they'll get their views, and have all sorts of fun at work. Because when I get at work, I don't think I'm gonna have a lot of loads to load. We were getting pretty low when I left. I think we had already another load of tappets coming. That's about a half a shift. The tappets that she had was about a half, maybe 3/4 of a shift. And then there was a shift worth of bodies. So if anything, I might have to finish up with the load before I push empties, or they'll be starting to push empties as I get there. That gives me a lot of computer time. Yippee-ki-yay. And all those other fun. So now I have 365 on there. And I think I might have to adjust the angle in this one so it sees it a little bit better. Let's move it over. Let's scoot it over. There we go. Yeah, so at least you can see that side better. Otherwise they go, you cut off the people that are helping you on the side. Like, yeah, I don't have people down here in my basement for that. The comments you get are humorous at best. You're like, did you, it might have sounded better in your head, but when you were typing it, did you read the comment you just made? So comments like fake weights. I don't know anybody who owns fake weights for their house. From what I've been told, fake weights cost more than real weights. So if I'm going to spend money on weights, they're going to be real weights. Commercial gyms do not carry fake weights. They're a commercial gym. You understand what would happen to a commercial gym if that got out? If Premier Fitness got caught using fake weights, what do you think that would do to every Premier Fitness? What do you think it would do to every, back in the days of Gold's Gyms or any other of the ones out there? Anytime Fitness. There are real weights in these gyms. The mom and pop gyms I see have professional weights. They have the Rogue weights, Titan weights. They have all the professional equipment. All right, this is not professional equipment. This I bought at Sam's Club back in 2000. The whole setup, the bench it came with, and the 315 pounds of weights, I think they had it closed out for $400. Usually it's like $1,200, so I bought it. It was the floor model, and they took it apart for me. I brought it home, put it back together. So I've had this for 24 years. I've went through a couple benches since then, and this is probably my fourth bench that I just put together for this setup. I have a crunch bench there, which I've been kind of avoiding. I overdid it and ended up getting a stomach cramp. I've never had my abs cramp before. It is not a good experience. When I see those football players hit the ground because of a cramp, I'm like, oh, come on. Oh, if that was the bottom of the cramp? Yeah, bring the gurney. Please, somebody give me a painkiller to make the pain stop. Because those are terrible. And then I have the other gym I just replaced, the other bench I just replaced, but it's an adjustable one. So it has its uses. I just need to clean out this area over here. And I think I'm going to give my boy a task to get this thing removed so I can start utilizing that side. Utilizing, big word. Gotta utilize it. So I'm having fun. This is a nice, relaxing way of doing it at home and that. Now, what I would do is when I first started working out again after my 3-year hiatus, which I regret doing, but it is what it is. This is where I worked out. And I was here. I'd start at 9 o'clock and I'd work out until midnight. Or if I started at 10, I'd work out till 1 in the morning. And it was just reps. I remember going to the doctor. I was doing physical. They needed to draw blood, and she's beating on my wrist. What's wrong with your wrist? That's what are you talking about? Well, it's so lumpy and hard. I said, well, it's called muscle, dear. And that's just how much exercising I was doing. And I'd like to get back to that. And I'll be honest with you, there's no real reason why I am not. I do have the time. I got to schedule it in. So whether that's me sneaking in a 40-pound dumbbell at work, so I can just kind of do wrist curls. Because that was doing. I was doing a lot of wrist curls. Where you put it this against your leg and you just, and I was doing reverse ones and I was doing curls like this. I mean, I just was doing a lot of wrist work, and it made a difference. And I know I'm not doing that like I used to. And I'm doing a lot of bench, and I'll do some arms and military and, back, legs on machines and that. But am I working out to the level I used to? No. I tell you, one of the ones that really impresses me is Michael. Michael does a far more superior workout than I do. And I want to give it to him. It is what it is. He if you're not watching his channel, at the Body Beatdown, you should be. All right. He's fun to watch. He's a real person. He's a good soul, and he puts in the work. So definitely when I start to slack off and then I watch his videos, I'm going, I got to get moving again. I'm letting this youngin' make me feel bad about myself, and that's not what he's trying to do. He's actually just doing lots of wonderful things. And that's why I think it's a good channel and a good inspiration for you to follow. So that's the Body Beatdown. I'll put the link in the description later on so you can watch that. So hopefully if you're watching this as it's going on, if you're watching the replay, then you'll see that link. So but really channel support and a good individual. I was hoping he'd pop in, but he's got reasons. He does a lot of lifting and busting the kids, going for walks and doing his Thai bow and all that other stuff. So I understand that, and he's got to get his sleep when he can. But I know he'll be popping. He'll pop into the replay. And that's how I usually catch his. I have to do the replay or watch him after the fact. It helps if you throw comments in here besides the live stream, in the live chat. That helps the algorithm. Makes YouTube think I'm more popular than I actually am. Try to do more of these live streams. Get on a more, I guess, regular basis, stuff like that. Let me get my boy back up here. John. Come on down. Well, what do you think it was? It's the fourth time I've done this. So I think you'd figure out that code by now. Oh, okay. All righty. 365. All last week I was sick. And it was no fun. And you get from the doctor, well, it's going around. No kidding. What's it called? We don't know. It's a stomach bug. It's going around. It's going to be 5 to 10 days. Thanks. So now I'm just trying to get my energy back. Let's see if my adjustment adjusted anything. Looks like I'm in line. Go. Woo! Here we go. So 365, slow and steady. I'm happy with that. We'll bump it up just a little bit because usually the second heavy lift goes a little easier.
How much?
Let's go to 370. So just the itty bitty, teeny weeny, the 2.5. The itty bitty, teeny weeny 2.5 weight. I said enough. And we'll be right back. I didn't hear the noise as it correctly. Oh, yeah, no, when I was locked my finger 3 times, you'll see the whole house. So I'll knock 3 times. Sometimes my brain kind of scrambles when I'm here. Oh, okay. Because you're doing this, it can. I get that. And then when you spoke, I didn't hear your voice. Second, that's why I asked you. That wasn't the case. Shh. Did you bring the spam up? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's all. You said you wanted potatoes? Potatoes take a while. If you no, we can just do that. You got that. Yeah, we got cheese. I don't mind doing potatoes, but potatoes take a long time. If we start with eggs and spinach. All right, another couple minutes. Yummy, yummy, yummy. All right, let me see. Message just retracted. Try it again. All right, let me see. Christopher, absolutely. Yeah, 20 pounds later after my movements. Yeah, I don't think that's what Christopher meant, right? But that's, let's keep the humor going. So we did 365. We're popping up to 370. And I'm going to try to make it more of a true pause. I want to be able to at least get over 400 at the Arnold's. Obviously, I'm not going to hit where I wanted to be at just because, shit happened, and it happens. There's nothing you can do about that. But I do want to at least be able to get a 400 plus lift on March 1st, where I'll be competing in the Arnold's Classic in Columbus, Ohio. So I paid my entry fee. I booked the motel. Yeah, I booked about 4 minutes out of town. Makes a difference in cost. I booked for Friday and Saturday night. So I'll be there Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday I'll be there for a little bit, and then I'll head home. It's about 6.5 hours driving from here, so not too bad. I don't know if the boy's going to want to come with me or not, but my plan is to pack a lot of food to bring with me. That'll save money so I don't have to eat out all the time, but there's going to be, I'll probably want to go out probably, Saturday night for sure and have a nice meal and a couple, beers. It is a fun event. Went there last year, had a great time. Met some subscribers, made some new friends. So it was an enjoyable experience. And probably something I'm going to think about doing on a yearly basis. It's those events that kind of keep me going where I'm at. Every now and then I will entertain the thought of, I'm just going to do reps at 2 1/4. I'm just going to, try to shred down some weight. Don't worry about, my strength and stuff like that. But then I get over it. And I do want, I think that's what happens. I think at some point, we say, well, we don't need to be that strong. And I'm not saying it's wrong to think that way. I'm just saying I think that happens. But then, I'll watch Jimmy Ray bench, and I'll watch Cole Bennett bench, and a few others that are in my age group or older, still throwing the big weights up. And I'm saying, maybe I'll keep doing this. Doesn't mean that during the summer I can't sit there and, start doing more reps and build my endurance up. In the summertime is a good time to do that. Start going back on my outdoor walks, do the videos there. Now that I can upload them here at the house. I used to hate that because I do the videos and I couldn't upload them here because all I had was the mobile hotspot and I'm in the middle of nowhere. And it just was no fun. I mean, I'm telling you, it was no fun. So today, 370 will probably be as heavy as I go. And then what I'll plan to do then is probably do a burnout at 315 and then call that a good day and prepare for a better one. I've been in the gym a few months. There we go. I've been a runner for years. Great. You got the endurance. My legs are my strength. My bench is weak. 175 bench. Ain't nothing wrong with 175. I weigh 175. Only 3% of people, 3% of males can bench their weight, Zachary. Only 3%. Any tips to build up without injury? Absolutely. Nothing wrong with 175 bench. That's good weight. All right. Don't worry about what somebody else is doing. Be happy with what you're doing. 175 is a good weight. All right. I mean, you weigh 75 pounds less than I do. So that's equivalent to a 250-pound bench for me. And I mean, I remember when 285 was my max. I think I weighed 225 at the time. So 175 is a great weight. Slow and steady wins the race. Don't be in a hurry. If you want to build your bench, one of your best ways is to warm up. Do a couple sets of 10 to warm up. And then I do what's you can do 5 by 5. So you can do 5 sets of 5 of a heavy weight that you can do 5 of. And then every other week, kick that weight up by 5 pounds until you can do 5 sets of 5. Then once you can, kick it up by 5 pounds and keep doing it. And that's a good way to build your bench. On trying to boost my bench to 315 from, hate doing this, from 295. Is that one? Yeah, that one there. There's a lot of ones out there that are available online. It'll definitely get you there. So you're doing 295, so you're only wanting to go up 20 pounds. But you can easily do in a year if you put the work in. Generally, I think you're going to have to bench twice a week. You can do that. One, you can do the 5x5s. You can do what I call a pyramid, where you do a weight at 10, 7, 5, 3, 3, 5, 7, 10. That one has worked for me. Sometimes changing things up help. You know what I mean? So, yeah, 175-pound bench is a good bench. There's not a lot of males that can bench that. You're going to a gym where everybody is working on that. But if you go into general populace, if you're in your states, walking to Target, walking to Walmart, there's your average populace. So yeah, don't use the word only 175. 175 is a great bench. That's good weight. You're benching your own weight. 3% of the males can bench your own weight. It means 97% of males cannot. So congratulate yourself on that milestone, and then slowly work towards it to get it up there. You said you've only been in benching for a couple months. It takes years and years to get there. I didn't hit 315 until I was 40 years old. And then I worked to 405, and it took me 4 years to get to 405. At 59, I threw up 480. Now it's been kind of, one step forward, two steps back sometimes, but I still keep at it. You train a bunch, but don't gain a pound in my max. I have to bring my big TV down here so I can have the bigger screen. Calorie surplus. Naturally skinny. Yes, Robert, I had a metabolism that would not shut down when I was younger. Don't matter how much I ate. The more I ate, the higher my metabolism went. And it wasn't until my 30s that I ate. So, I was 185 for a very long time. At 6'4", now I was ripped. I was solid. But, so one day I was 205. And 215. And then 225. At 225, I was in fantastic shape. And then I started getting stronger, started giving up on the endurance. But the strongest I've been pound for pound is when I was at about 250. At 250 is when I threw up that 480. I've been as heavy as 265, and that's just too much for me. So 240 to 250 is usually where I try to stay in. So most of the times I'm competing at 242, but there have been times when I didn't feel like dieting that I competed at the 275-pound class. But yeah, all those will do it, and sometimes it doesn't hurt to mix things up. If you bench twice a week, you can have one that's a rep day and where you're doing flat bench and decline and incline and dumbbell. You're really mixing it up, but you're just doing lighter weights with more reps. Then you can have your heavy day where you do your 3 sets to warm up, and then you go after the heavy weights. Now, because I've already been there in that, mine is kind of however I feel. So I warmed up at 135 for 3 sets. I did 2 sets at 2.25. I did a set at 275. I did a set at 315. Less reps, just conserving my energy. I just pushed up 365. Now I'm going to do 370, and then I'm probably going to jump back down and just burn out at 315, and that's going to finish this workout. Only because I do have a job I have to go to. I work second shift. And they shifted it an hour earlier, which is kind of a mixed blessing. I get home earlier. I get home at 10:30 instead of 11:30, so that's kind of nice. But I used to have that extra hour to work out and that. But you just try to shift your sleep schedule, which lately, and I blame the cat, has been kind of getting pushed to 7:30 wake up time instead of 5:30. But I want to get back to that. So I'm going to call my boy down here and do the one at 370. You may not be able to see him, but 3 45-pound plates. Yes, they're different colors, but they're all real 45-pound plates. Got a 25 that you may not be able to see because of the angle, and then I got an itty bitty two and a half for a grand total of 375. And before I got sick last week, I was doing 395. But the whole idea is this is being smart, love smart, and that. We'll see how this one goes. So let me summons my boy back down here to spot me. Well, he gets the signal this time. Knock 3 times on the ceiling if you want me. Cooler attack, come forth. So we're gonna throw a 370 up, and then after another, the MEACing for about 5 minutes, we'll burn out at 315. And that's I really think where a lot of my development comes is on that burnout. Still got to do the heavy ones though. Make sure I turn this one on. So we added a wee little 2 1/4 on the ends. We got 345s, got a 25, got a 2 1/4 on each side for a grand total 370 pounds. Then we'll do a pause.
Just one lift.
Here we go. So that would be a sanctioned lift. Because I pause, you'd wait for a press command, and then you'd push it. That, in all reality, makes that lift about 15 pounds heavier, and adverse to hitting it and a touch and go. I don't do a bounce. I don't want to bounce that much weight off my rib cage. So I'll do what's called a touch and go for a lot of times.
You got more than one rib?
Yeah, they're all cracked. But what I'll do is I actually laid it down, waited for a second, and then pressed it. So I know that as of right now, if I start down, I could open, or I could at least do 370. So that's a good feeling. Now, by the end of January, and we're only talking like a week, I should be throwing 380 up, 385. Because I'm just trying to do a recovery. That's all it is. So about 5 minutes, and then I'll do my burnout. Wipe out. Da, 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 da. So hydrate. If you're new, this is water. These Gross bottles are great for storing water. It started out as beer. That was drank years ago. So I keep about 12 of these water bottles in the fridge. Hey, Virginia Bushcrafter, there we go. Hey, thanks for popping in. Another channel worth watching if you want to see some real live and life experiences surviving out in the bush and out in the woods and woodcrafting skills. I've always been really interested in that, and I was in Boy Scouts, be brave, courtesy, honest, all that good stuff. I was in the service, 4 observers, spent a lot of time out in the field. And even though I do know woodcrafting, it's always good to see it again. And it's always good to see somebody else do it and go, oh yeah, now I remember that, because you forget stuff. Or it gets pushed off to the side, and it's really good to watch it so it comes back into it. I got some comments I got to catch up on. I have to use my readers. 16 and 6 footish, 5'2" and 5'3". Count your blessings. So how tall was your mom's brothers? Because my mom and dad, I'm 6'4". My mom and dad were both 5'8". Yeah, my dad's brothers were 5'7", 5'8". My mom was 5'8", but her 4 brothers were in the 6 foot. So I had 2 uncles at 6'1", I had 2 uncles at 6'4". My grandpa was 6'2". On my mom's side. So I get my height from my mom's side. So even though they were both at this levels, how tall was your mom's brothers? And if they were taller, then that's where you're getting that height from. You know, my oldest brother is 5'8", the other one is 5'10", I'm 6'4". They took after my dad's side of height, I took after my mom's side. So yeah, so 6'2", that's good. And nutrition plays into it now. Better nutrition allows you to reach your potential. You know, one reason that some of these nations were all short is because of what they ate. It was their diet. They didn't have a very big diet. About 5'11", and grandpa was 6'4". Yes, so that's where you got that from. All right, so you're getting it from that side of the family. Your highest bench, good question. My highest bench was at 59 so far. All right. Now, I will say that's the extreme exception and not the rule. Generally, really started getting really strong at 40. I tell you, and I remember my dad in his 40s and 50s. And, you know, and even though I was supposedly in my prime, 16, 17, 18 years old, it wasn't even a contest. And I remember coming back from the service, and I was in my 20s, and I stopped at a party, and there were some high school students there. They were, you know, the football players, they were trying to act tough, and, you know, a lot of people were, oh, man, you know, they're making me nervous. And I walked up to them, I said, you know, guys, either you change your demeanor and enjoy the party, or you got to leave. You know, the guy goes, well, who's going to make me? I said, son, I'm going to hurt you. It's not going to be a fight. All right, I'm a combat MLS veteran. And it says, you don't understand how much stronger I am than I was at your age. And my old joke is I could go back in time and I could beat up my 39-year-old self as long as I did it quickly. Because the endurance is not what it used to be. I mean, we'll be honest that. Or the mailman. No, it wasn't the mailman. Not from the Moss side. You know, like I said, I'm much taller than all my other 5 siblings. You know, and it's because I took after my Moss side for height. And then my kids took after me for height. Of course, my wife is 5'8" also. All right, her brother is about 6'1". Her dad was 6 foot. So, you know, we have the height on both sides of the family. I know another family where the wife was 6'2", the husband was 6'1", and their kids were, you know, the one daughter was 6'4", the son was 6'5", the other daughter was 6'1", and the one that was 6'4", she married a guy who was, he's a beast. He's got to be 6'9", and just, so I can imagine. And they got the second kid, I think, on the way. I can imagine they're going to be huge. Michael, good morning. Glad you can make it. Da, 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 da. And there's much rejoicing. So I went up to 370 today. And I better wait on this side, too. I'm going to do my burnout at 315. And then we're going to call it a day. Live streaming off the computer. That's why it's horizontal. And then I have the vertical that I'm recording also, but it will be just the highlights and stuff like that. Genetics does play a key, but a lot of it's been a lot of work and mind over matter. And the joke is I don't mind it, don't matter, but at one point, you have to make, you have pivotal points that you make decisions. So when I first started working out, I was, high reps, high number of sets, per muscle group, and would work out for 3 hours. Now, I wasn't as physically strong as I am now, but I was ripped. I mean, 7% body fat, great definition, just I felt good about it. And as I got older, after my 3-year hiatus from lifting, I was still doing that, but then it got a point where, wow, I want to be able to do a 315 bench. So I worked towards it and I hit it. Then somebody said, well, why don't you do a 405? I said, well, man, the wingspan I got. And I said, you're right. So I think at the time I was doing like 335. I was 42. And I said, I'm going to give myself 2 years to get it. And then I worked at it. And I got it. And then it was, I want to stay at this weight as long as I can. I'm going to work to be able to get up to 405 as long as I can. So, my goal is to get to 405 by the end of February. As long as I don't get sick and get injured, it's a very realistic goal because I've been there before. So, we're going to remind you about that muscle memory. A real thing, adverse to what Maxine thinks. And, and I want to be able to stay at that level or higher as long as I can. Now, I've been talking about Michael here, Body Beatdown, who just joined us. And, he had the same mindset when he decided to do something. When he made a decision, and it took him a lot of conversation. I'm not going to do it. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Yeah, I'm going to do it. And we all do that. And it's natural. And it's okay. But when he decided to do it, boom, here come the 405 bench. And he got it. That was huge. Here came the 500-pound deadlift. That was huge. And here came a 400 and something squat. Huge. So you talk about a 275-pound overhead press. So he's one of the all-around strongest guys I know, and I don't think he realizes just in what a percentage he's in the top. And not just in his age group, but in the top like 0.1%. There's probably only 1 in 100,000 that is going to be in his shape. But he made the conscious decision. He formulated a plan. He changed up some things to reach his goals, and he hit them. And that's why I say he's worth watching. $105 kilos for 2 today. Great job. Good job. 105, that's about 2. So about 231 pounds, 240 pounds, something like that. Right. Yep. And we do that. You're your own worst enemy, or you could be your own best coach, your own best cheerleader. Anything that you say you can do with time and effort, you probably can. Anything you can't do, you won't do it. That kept me from benching heavy because I thought because of my length of arms and my height that, 315 bench was beyond me until I got it. And I thought a 405 bench was beyond me until I got it. So, and that's another thing when people say, well, are you on this? Are you on that? No, I'm not on anything because I'm stronger than I ever thought I would be. I never envisioned me at any point in my life benching 405, ever. So, for me to take enhancements at this time it's just not in my plans. Like I said, when I do decide to do it, I will let everybody know. It won't be like I'm going to do it off to the side. I will say, listen, I went to the doctor and he said, probably should get you on this regimen. And then I'll sit there and we'll see what sort of thing it does so people can actually make some informed decisions. Because right now you can't ask me about TRT because I don't take it. So I really can't give you an informed decision. I can only parrot what I've heard from other people or what I've researched. But I don't have any personal experience in it. You need to talk to people who have personal experience in it. And you're going to get people that are very positive about it. And you get people that maybe are not. But, that's probably the best people you could talk to about it. But for me, I can't tell you anything about it because I don't have any personal experience. But it's now the time to do the burnout, get my boy back down here. I got about this amount of time Cook breakfast. On the ceiling if you want me. Oh, I'm gonna just do as many as I can at 3:15. And this is where I really think this is part of the exercise where a lot of that development truly comes from. And it also lets me know, did I do a good workout? You know, if I'm knocking them out like a crazy number, that means I left some on the top end. And I don't want to leave any on the top end. Yeah, I'm happy with 6. Considering I was sick all week. Very happy with 6. But I almost need to hit it down like a half an inch. So we're thinking maybe build a wood platform to put this on.
That'd work. Just a couple sheets of wood.
Maybe just get 1 sheet of plywood would probably do it.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 sheets. Maybe cut the carpet out and give it the carpet, and then 2 sheets of 3/4 plywood would probably do the trick.
Probably.
Your mission. All right, let's start this. So remember, rest, nutrition, proper exercise, hydration is getting the gym and lift. Or bring the gym to your house. It's Thursday. So I had the live stream. Please watch that. And because it's 2 for Tuesday. All right, throwback Thursday. Maybe I'll upload my 480 bench. Throwback Thursday. So you can see where I was when I was a young lad 4 years ago. And I'm not signing off here yet, but I am signing off here. Everybody have a wonderful, wonderful day. So the son's getting hungry, so I'm going to sit there and talk for about the next 15 minutes. Just to test his constitution. Just kidding. So I think I will be doing more stuff down here. I will bring that 32-inch TV down here. Probably, depending on how long the power cord is, and I can bring another extension. I probably can set it up right there. And then I can see the chat better. Yeah, so 6 at 3:15, considering I was sick all week, and I'm down some weight. And I don't know, to be honest with you, I probably could have forced the 7th one. But I'm pretty happy with that. Can't substitute hard work, dedication, and passion. This is true. So I appreciate everybody joining in. Doing more of these. Just because it's a good place to have it. I'm going to get them cook. I'm going to call the VA and see if I can get a screening done. I need to make sure I'm getting blood to my brain. You know, so I can think. And so I cook and then off to work. Rinse, repeat. I owe. It's off to work I go. Thanks for joining in, everybody. Appreciate it. Do I? No, I do not. But I basically kind of I warm up, and then I'm gonna go up to heavyweight. So today I went up to 370. Before I got sick, I went up to 395. Before I had surgery on my ear and neck, I was up to 405. Before my massive injury, I was up to 455. So it's like, usually I'll go up a heavyweight, and then I'll burn out at 315. So I don't have a specific program. Like I said, if you're trying to get stronger, there's a few of them out there. The 5x5 I think is a safe one, or a pyramid, which I kind of do. I kind of go heavy and then I do a burnout. When I was younger, I did more sets, but I find to get back to where I was at, I just need to bench twice. So everybody, thanks for joining in, and probably have another live stream next week. I don't know how often I can do it here at the house. Like I said, mostly this is set up for bench, although I can do some other exercises here once I make more room. All right. How do I shut this thing down? How do you stop this crazy thing? End stream. Let's try this button right here. Good night, everybody.